The episode begins with a maid working in the residence, and Maomao is seen assisting her. However, Maomao is lost in thought, recalling the previous evening when Lishu mentioned seeing a ghost whenever she went to bathe. Maomao is trying to figure out what kind of ghost it might be. She had earlier told Lishu that she could seek help from Jinshi. Maomao then recalls the time during a hunting trip when she accidentally touched Jinshi's frog. She starts to wonder if Jinshi might be a eunuch or not. The scene shifts as Gaoshun calls for Maomao, knowing she is needed because Jinshi has arrived with a ghost-related issue from Lishu. Gaoshun is surprised and wants to see who is affected by the ghost, but her maid insists she shouldn't go due to her pregnancy. Jinshi agrees and says he will take Maomao with him and return her later, asking that this remain a secret. Gaoshun laughs, noting how Jinshi always comes to take Maomao. Jinshi approaches Maomao and says she's the one he needs. He gently touches her lips and says he will seal them so she won't speak of this. Then he takes her along. Gaoshun asks if something happened during the hunting trip, and Maomao hints that something strange occurred involving a frog. Next, Gaoshun, Jinshi, and Maomao arrive at Lishu's quarters to investigate. A maid claims Lishu probably imagined the ghost, but Maomao senses arrogance in the maid and notices her wearing a kokubu hairpin not meant for her. Jinshi apologetically says he must inspect it and pretends to have throat pain, causing all the maids to scatter to help. This gives him and Maomao space to speak with Lishu. Lishu explains she saw a strange white woman's face in the window while bathing. Maomao investigates and notices the bathroom's odd placement and a suspicious storage room. They find old termite damage, suggesting something strange. Gaoshun fetches blueprints, and Maomao discovers the room connects directly to the bath area. A copper mirror left by Lishu's late mother reflects a face when light and steam hit it, causing the ghostly illusion. Maomao explains the science behind it, and Lishu cries, missing her mother. Jinshi later reprimands the arrogant maid and removes her pin. Maomao then visits a doctor asking about eunuchs, curious if Jinshi really is one. Meanwhile, Jinshi thinks about telling Maomao a serious truth as handsome new eunuchs arrive, and the episode ends. The episode begins with Maomao's friend accidentally bumping into a man, causing him to drop a block of ice he was carrying. This ice was meant for Lakan, the noblewoman known as Lailan, to help cool off during the hot midday. The man becomes furious, scolding Maomao's friend, but Maomao steps in and apologizes, asking him to forgive them. He angrily replies that an apology won't fix the damage, as the ice is completely ruined and expensive. Maomao realizes how valuable the ice must be, and offers to make something with it that can be given to Lailan instead. The man gives her just 1 hour, warning her of consequences if she fails. Jinshi observes this from a distance, noticing how Maomao defends her friend. Holding her friend's hand, Maomao runs off toward the kitchen. Jinshi follows her, and when she asks for access to the kitchen and some ingredients, he says he'll help, but only if she agrees to listen to people more and stop interrupting. She reluctantly agrees. Jinshi reminds her of the hairpin he gave her at the garden party and insists she wear it as part of the deal. She agrees, then begins preparing something with milk and fruits, intending to make ice cream. She mixes the milk and crushed ice, adds fruit pieces, and lets it freeze. Her friend tastes it and loves it. Maomao gives it to the man and tells him to give it to Lailan. He tastes it too and approves. In the next scene, we see Gao, a pregnant woman, talking with her daughter Lingi. Maomao examines Gao and suspects a breech delivery, meaning the baby's feet are facing downward instead of the head, which could cause complications. Maomao says they need someone experienced to handle this. She suggests her adoptive father, a skilled doctor, even though he had been exiled for a minor crime. Despite hesitation from a maid, Gao agrees and sends a letter to get Jinshi's approval. Maomao's father arrives and is calm and gentle, unlike Maomao. In the final scene, a mysterious man appears in the forest, leaving viewers in suspense for the next episode. The next episode begins with Maomao trying to find the hairpin given to her by Jinshi during a festival. She eventually finds it but hesitates to wear it, remembering her promise to him. She decides to keep it with her but not wear it for now. Then we see her preparing some kind of medicine in the presence of her father, who always taught her to make something useful out of even waste materials. Maomao recalls learning many things from him and considers him the best doctor, though he is poor and lives in a small house. She reflects on how honest people often aren't wealthy. As Maomao continues working, her father questions if she took permission to use the ingredients. He then starts writing something on a paper, while Maomao playfully asks if he plans to write all day. She knows he is documenting warnings and health tips based on his years of experience, but wonders if this knowledge might be misused. A doctor nearby reads the notes and comments on the childish handwriting, to which her father replies that complex ideas should be written simply so anyone can understand. They discuss recycling paper, and Maomao is tasked with checking if a nearby school reuses paper. She agrees and stores her herbs, planning to gather something for fatigue as her friend Gao gets tired easily due to pregnancy. The doctor notices her looking for something and offers help, but she declines and leaves. On her way, Maomao continues thinking about the hairpin and how others might tease her if they recognize it as a gift from Jinshi. She then meets an old man who recognizes her father's handwriting and shares how her father used to post informative notes everywhere like posters, warning against certain powders and flowers. Inspired, Maomao rushes to a doctor to analyze some strong alcohol used for unconscious patients. They discuss the unusual long stay of a beautiful worker named Suzu, who was likely forced to remain there. Maomao suspects foul play but lacks proof. Suddenly, Sui appears, holding her friend hostage, and demands Maomao follow him outside. Meanwhile, in the palace, a military officer named Lakan discusses dangerous weapons with another ruler. The episode ends with Maomao being taken away and mystery deepening around her investigation.